Hi everyone, welcome back to Crochet Rocks. Tracy here, and if you haven't already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I had that tree on earlier. I must have turned it off and not realised. So, hi. I thought my stitch marker thing was there, but it's not. I thought I took that in the yarn van. I did. So anyway, good morning. Well, it's still good morning. And this is a WIP Wednesday. Now, if you watched my chat earlier, you'll see that I'm dressed a lot more significantly. In other words, I've got this gigantic thing on, and that's because it is freezing. Honestly, I was like, it's sunny earlier, but now I am absolutely freezing. Hands are cold and everything. So, neck lights on, because I've got a little bit of yarn that I'm going to show you. It's the WIPs that I've been making. I also wanted to give you a couple of little heads up first, and that is that the Starcraft Bellissima cream, single cream, is now, it's not, you can't eat it, but it's now back available in my shop, hobbyrocks.co.uk. It was out of stock. So that arrived today. And these. So this is a pattern booklet. It's all knitted in it. It is a shawl, hat, gloves and socks, and it's designed by Stuart Hillard, and it is for Head Over Heels Colours of the World yarn, but I don't actually stock that yarn, but I can do if I wanted to, just that I don't. And it's a 4-ply or sport weight yarn if you're across the pond, sock yarn for want of any other name. And then there's these. Now these are very hard to see, I know, but this is a knitted unicorn. Those were knitted as well, by the way. But this is a knitted unicorn, and it is free of charge at my shop, with a purchase. So you can purchase any yarn. I mean, this is a DK pattern. Obviously, if you used Aran, it would come up thicker. If you used a fluffy, it would be fluffy. But you just got to adjust your hook size and all that. But these I've got 20 of. And I've got them all nice, kept nice and secure in this little wallet. And it's just a little freebie if anyone purchases any yarn. And as I say, I've got 20 of them. Once they're gone, that's the end of them. I won't put that in there. I'll struggle on camera. You know, that's the sort of thing. So then, WIPs. Now this one, you must all be very familiar with by now. Now it's almost finished. Yes, I know. Wow. I'm kind of really spun by it, you know, like can't believe it's nearly there. But I'm on this final row of the border. That's the join. So I've got 2 more sides and I meet up. So it will be as thick as this. At the moment it's just 1 thickness, but it will be 1.5 because I did a half treble, which is half double US, and then I did a double, which is a single crochet. So I did, so it became not too thick, but it was like this. Now I don't know if that's going to be it, as I've got a hair. I've worked a hair in. Easy to do when you've got lots of it and it falls out rapidly. But the dark yarn, I will have enough to get round, thank goodness. I can see there's more than enough there to get 2 sides of it. But I do have this much of one of the previous balls of the Premier puzzle, and a whole one right here. So I'm not sure, you know, on some of my blankets and things when I've done edging, I've done the blanket in whatever, and I use white around it or a contrast, and then I do a thin row of the colour or a treble, half treble or something around the outside, and I like the way that looks. So I've got a whole ball to do that with if I want to. Now it does seem a bit of a waste. It's a 200 gram ball, and it is classed, I think, as a super chunky, is it? I believe it is to us over here, a super chunky. So it would probably use half of it now to go all the way around, and then I wouldn't have much left and enough to make anything. But if I leave this as it is and just have it as a darker border, then I could probably make a hat with this, if not scarf or hat and gloves or something, because I do have this little tiny bit left over as well. So I'm kind of in two minds, because I know I always like to do that. I'm kind of conscious of the fact that I kind of look like I'm dressed. It sort of reminds me of a collar and tie. It's not, it's just this fluffy fleecy thingy. I do feel kind of bundled up, but then I'm just about thawing out. My hands are still cold. Now I made a start on this creeper. I think Gary's about to come in. I've made a start on this character blanket, and this is for Tyler. I mean, I've got more than enough yarn to make about 10 of them, I think, because I've been doing this part, and I think I need to do four more squares, and I've finished that colour, and then I'll start on the others and then getting them put together. And I'm still on my first ball, so I'm not sure if I'll get four more from that ball. I've got 4 balls, so I've got more than enough, and who knows, I might make 2. So here's my WIPs in this bag, and I only did it for about an hour last night, and I've got this many made already. But I've decided on making them this big, because if you look at, those of you who've seen my character blanket that I made before for the Mario, which I made for Harley, it was kind of like just 2 rows. The squares were that big, and this is a whole 2 rows more. And the reason for that is it's lovely, square and boxy, so it doesn't really matter how big you make those squares. So obviously Mario was made up of squares, like a pixel picture, but you had to kind of have more definition for parts of the body, and you know, little things that were smaller. So that worked out perfectly well, just doing 2 rows. But I've done 4 altogether. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 4 rows. I've started it with a magic loop, magic ring, because I wanted it to be as tight and closed in as possible. Now I could have made it absolutely tight by closing this, but I've got the little bit at the side going up, although I didn't need to. I could have equally just made it solid, but it is more or less a solid square and a seamless solid square. So I will be doing a tutorial for this blanket, but don't worry. Now the other, although that green was the Wendy, it's looking a bit dishevelled, this one, Wendy Supreme DK. So I couldn't read upside down. It didn't look right, and I couldn't figure out what word it was. So that was this one that I've been using for the kind of lighter green. And I did show it the other day when I first got it, because I was struggling to get one. It's always upside down for me. And in this stupid yarn machine, it's upside down again. It is, where are you? It's called Pistachio. There are some dimensions on here. Do you think I can find them? Nah. Well, there's the yardage on here somewhere. It's 100% premium acrylic, and it's all machine washable and all that stuff. And I cannot, for the life of me, find the... Oh, there it is, tiny. 295, 322. So 295 yards. So as I say, I don't know if I'll get the whole of the 16 squares from one ball, but it's looking pretty cool. Now the other green, I've got this one, and this is just Starcraft, not say just, I love Starcraft, Starcraft double knitting. Now I don't actually stock the special DK in the shop. So that's a bit of a lie. I do, but the ones I've got are the Fleck ones, the kind of interesting colours, and I will expand that range as time goes by. But I've got the Special Aran, so I didn't really. There's so many colours; it's really hard to get that stocked up. So I was concentrating on the Special Aran at first, and I've got a few special DKs, and I've got a whole pack. But obviously, judging by the fact that I've almost got all of my lighter squares out of one ball. I won't really need this much, although I might make the blanket bigger by doing something else on the side. Not really sure what I'm doing with it yet. So there might be some to upload, and these are, I've got 2 of them out, just called green, premium acrylic again, same amount of yards and meters, so that's pretty cool, and machine washable exactly the same. And the other colour I've got is black, and again that's the same. I did order all of the yarn from the Special DK, but the colour that I wanted for that lighter contrast was out of stock, so I didn't get it, and unfortunately I had to look around. So this is what I got, and there was another colour that I wanted from Starcraft, and that was out of stock, so I got these anyway, and I think they work quite well. So that's what I'm using for the blanket. And so let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 across, which will give me a nice little size. But then I could put a border around the outside of 1 or 2 squares of white or whatever colour I want. Obviously I wouldn't choose any of the colours that are in this unless it was black, of course. Black might work, but that would make it a lot bigger. But it will be square. That's the thing. Most blankets you make are rectangular, but this will be square. And the only other alternative is to put a few there and then do another one and put it at the side of it. So there's 2 of them, or another character from Minecraft as well. So that is that one. And then there's my other 2 balls of that. I don't want to crumple my picture up too much. So incidentally, I was thinking of putting that picture up on my shop so you can download it if you want to join me on that tutorial crochet. I don't know, I'm going to do it yet. But this is my hat, and this is a bucket hat. I haven't done any more to it. I keep meaning to finish this brim, but either I've got company, or I'm tired, or Gary's home, or whatever, and I've not really sat down in the quiet to do it. But I will, because it's more or less done. I just need the brim, and for that I've been making it with Red Heart Unforgettable. Oh, gone dry. Just bear with. I never bring a drink in and that happens, but then if I do bring a drink it doesn't happen. It's like mind over matter. Anyway, I've been making it with Red Heart Unforgettable, which I know is discontinued, which is a shame, and I love this particular one. I got it as Happy Mail many moons ago. Absolutely gorgeous, and it is identical to Boho Spirit in the colour Harmony. This is Harmony. No, this is just called 03965. But Boho Spirit by Signet, which I do stock in my shop, is exactly the same. I've put them side by side and they are absolutely identical. Sorry, that's my cousin Vinny moment. I can't resist doing that. So then I started to make a mile a minute, which was my own creation, and it was a mile a minute of the Modern Box Granny that I had done well, that's what I'm making Gary's blanket from that stitch. But it really does work so well with a mile a minute because it is so boxy, it's so square. So that's what I started doing, and I got Safaras to change to this colour because I was making it from the King Cole Cherish and Cherished yarn. So the Cherished is a solid colour, and the Cherish is the variegated, which I also have this one, blues and greys. So I've got multicoloured pinks and blues and greys. So that's the pink one. And I was drying up again. I was going around the outside with the solid colours, and I was going to choose a different solid every time, see what it looks like. But I'm not absolutely sure on these variegated ones. They're not variegated enough for me. The colour changes got some gaps I'm not absolutely sure about. So those currently are my WIPs. Now I do have others which have fast become UFOs, but I've been recently making Gary's blanket on a live stream. You've probably seen it, and that's because it's sat there for so long with me not working on it, because, you know, as a creator and designer, well, I kind of design a few things now and then, I didn't really get around to finishing it because I was always working on something new or busy. So the way around that is to do live streams, and then while you're working and talking and, you know, having fun, you're not noticing that you're actually getting on with it. So I don't think I've done that many, and it's almost finished. So I'd never worked live before, you know, never kind of made anything while I've been on a live stream. I've only ever chatted, and it was a kind of alien thing to me, but I was so shocked at how much I got done of it that I might do that again in the future, like pull out some of my other WIPs or whatever I've got going on and make it while I'm talking. But over on my other channel, which is called Rocksteady, I'm up to over 1,000 subscribers now, so I'm looking to increase the watch hours and been doing live streams over there. But those ones are just the jibber jabber live streams that I used to do many moons ago. So yeah, sorry, I had an email come up, that's why I squinted, because I wanted to see what it was. So yeah, I'll be carrying on with those, and so yeah, watch out, there'll be more of my WIPs coming out. There are a few. Some of them you can't really do on a live stream, you know, they're too intricate, but I could certainly make these no problem at all. That sort of thing, because you don't really have all those kind of projects that you can do while you watch TV are perfect for it, as long as it's not, you know, you've got to intricately sew up or something, then it's all good. But that's what I've got going at the moment. I've kind of refrained from starting any more new ones because I've got lots of ideas that I want to get out, you know, I want to get done. But if the trouble is, when I start too many, like Gary's blanket, they just get left in the end. And I really should have had this finished by now, but those other ideas were gnawing away at me. Yeah, so those are my WIPs, and those are my little announcements about. So if you don't have to buy a specific yarn, oh there it is, to get the free pattern. You just need to, if you're making purchases, pop one in your order. If you're a knitter, that is, it's a knitted pattern and it's free. So I might do that from time to time when I get them. So yeah, and of course there are free download patterns that you've probably seen before, but this is a physical pattern. A lot of people like those, and it's, you know, proper one. Anyway, don't have to buy that particular yarn or any specific amount. Just if you're making a purchase, pop one in. There's 20. Once they're gone, they're all gone. So thank you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.